Why did I get into health and fitness versus physical therapy, and where I am today? So I remember back in college in 2008, a buddy of mine was going to do a 2-month study abroad program to Brazil, and he was working at a physical therapy clinic. And he's like, hey, I'm leaving. Would you want to take this job at a physical therapy clinic to work there as an aide? Because at the time, I wanted to become a physical therapist, and the best way to do that was to write on your resume that you've been working at a physical therapy clinic for a few years. And so I was like, yes, absolutely, completely excited. So I went there and I got the job and started working there immediately. And it was a really cool experience. I really got to see people who went from non-functioning, coming in after surgery, tearing ligaments, tearing ankles, tearing shoulders, and ultimately being able to see them go from non-functioning to functioning, being like they come in on crutches, using crutches, or being in a wheelchair, to walking out completely normal. And it was an amazing time of my life because I was able to see the power and ability and capacity of the human body. But I realized something that going from non-functioning to functioning was a very momentary thing, and that health and fitness had a bit of a different goal, right? So toward the end of my college career, it was my last semester, and I was having this soul-searching moment where I was really thinking about, how do I want to spend my career? Where do I want to spend it? Do I want to be a physical therapist and go three more years of school and spend $150,000 and not work? And I talked to two of my cousins who were physical therapists, and I was like, man, I'm not sure. And then I started looking into fitness and looking into personal training, and then I was telling people, I'm looking, they're like, oh, well, I'd be open for you to train me. And I just threw out a number. I was like, well, would you do 3 times a week for $300, like $25 an hour? And they're like, cool. So I remember my very, very first client. Her name was Barbara. She was in her mid-40s. She had 2 kids, young. And even after a few months, she had lost some weight. She was feeling better. She was moving better. And then I remember this, to this day, she told me, I have more energy to play with my kids. And I said, oh, what do you mean? She's like, I not only wanted to lose weight, but I wanted more energy, and I wanted to be in better shape because I wanted to be there for my kids, and not just be there, but also be able to play with them, be able to spend time with them, be able to laugh with them, and not tell them, oh, mom's tired today, or, oh, we'll do that tomorrow. I didn't want to be that mom. And so she was essentially saying, when we first started, was, I want to lose 10, 20, 30 pounds. This is the heaviest I've ever been. But internally, she was actually telling herself that, she wasn't the parent that she wanted to be. She could be there more for her kids. That she felt really frustrated, and she had a moment where she was tired of telling her kids oh, tomorrow, or later, or I'm tired. And knowing that she really wasn't old, she was just out of shape, but just struggled because she was overwhelmed with having a business, and she had a trophy business that she ran out of her garage, and so she had all these things going on. And so when I was listening to her tell me that story, I had an epiphany. And within that moment, I realized, helping people feel better, helping people move better through physical therapy and rehab is great, but essentially it's momentary. But helping a mom not just lose weight, not just have more energy, but be in great shape to play with her kids and not be tired, and to break through this old mindset, that to me was much more fulfilling. That to me was much more meaningful. That to me was the moment I realized why I wanted to go into health and fitness, and why I didn't want to be in physical therapy, for a number of reasons. And so I realized, if I jump into this, I could give up my initial dream of being a physical therapist. I could initially give up my dream of becoming a doctor, maybe opening up my own practice. But in the end, I started realizing like it didn't matter if like what would happen if I failed. What mattered to me more is that I was helping people realize that, and this is kind of how I saw this, because when I was younger, I was really into Marvel and comic books and superheroes, and I was thinking, I'm literally making people into superheroes. My special power is to give them special powers to live very differently. To go from tired and out of shape and overweight and making excuses to this completely new person, this completely different person, this completely new person with a different outlook on life, and saying like, wow, I didn't realize what I was missing out on because I was overweight, out of shape, and had low energy. I didn't realize what kind of parent I was because I was out of shape, overweight, and had low energy. And just by doing that for a few months, this person has a different perspective, a different appreciation, and for me to see that in them was really much more meaningful than rehabbing a knee and like having someone go from like not walking to walking, versus having a mom be able to spend more quality time with their kids. And for someone like me whose dad wasn't, my biological dad wasn't in the picture, and my stepdad was in the picture, I saw like more meaning behind coaching someone to the promised land. And so for me, the bigger reason why I wanted to help people now shifted from rehab to transforming their lives.